Labour. And finally, of course, President Bola Tinubu's national broadcast at the presidential villa Abuja, in which he announced specific measures aimed at cushioning the effect of fuel subsidy removal. President Bola Tinubu on Monday revealed his administration's plans to energize the sector with about 125 billion naira as part of its efforts to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy. This is even as the president promised to roll out buses across the states and local governments for mass transit as much more affordable prices. He spoke in a pre-recorded address to Nigerians, reeling out palliative programs for various economic sectors, including manufacturing, agriculture, and transportation. That was to preempt on the part of Mr. President the proposed nationwide strike, which commenced on Tuesday, August the 2nd, and as of this Thursday morning, the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress had spoken about the outcome of their meeting with Mr. President, and what I can tell you is that the organized labor has suspended its proposed strike action 24 hours after embarking on a nationwide protest against the removal of fuel subsidy. Now, President of the Trade Union Congress, Festus Osifo, announced this during an interview with a television network monitored by Rapid 96.5 News Desk, and that's this Thursday morning. So just to let you know, we don't sleep. That's why we are Abia's first and only 24 hours radio station. Now, he said, that's talking about Festus Osifo, the Trade Union Congress president, that labor leaders who had earlier met with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu extracted some comments to some of the issues raised during the meeting for immediate implementation. He explained the suspension of the strike was based on the outcome of their meeting. Now let's go to the outcome of the meeting, where the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress has spoken about the outcome of the meeting with President Bola Tinubu. Now, reports have it that President Tinubu met with organizers of Wednesday's nationwide protest. Giving an insight on what transpired at the meeting, the NLC president, Joe Ajero, said President Tinubu assured Nigerians that his government would ensure that one of the moribund refineries in the country begins operation by December. And reports suggest that that would be the Port Harcourt refinery. We are yet to get confirmed details on that, but reports making the rounds suggest that it will be the Port Harcourt refinery. Now, don't forget, yesterday when we were having this conversation, and even the day before when we were examining Mr. President's broadcast, a number of Nigerians did suggest that the strike wasn't necessarily the way to go, but that if Mr. President and his administration would focus on making our refineries work, that would help ease the burden and bring down the current pump price of petrol. All right, so I believe that the president and his administration are listening, and that's why in their conversation with organized labor, they have come to the understanding that in the next 4 months, one of our 4 refineries will become fully functional. Now, he said the president also pledged to ensure that agreement is reached on the wage award for Nigerian workers immediately. Now, if you listen to Mr. President's broadcast, you would remember he did say that there is a review ongoing. There will be a review of workers' salary. And then don't forget, before that, the Labour Congress had already put forward that they are looking at a benchmark of 200,000 naira as the new minimum wage. Whether that would be the eventual minimum wage, new minimum wage, we don't know. But of course, on both sides, government and labor, they said this conversation or negotiations will continue. Now, according to Ajero, President Tinubu similarly promised to unveil a workable roadmap to the CNG alternative next week. He said they would return to a roundtable discussion after the protests across 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. So that's the position as we speak, and we'll take a few more messages, and when we come back we'll open the phone lines to get your reaction. It's still Standpoint on Rapid 96.5.
Do you think you're a fan of Rapid FM?
I love Rapid FM.
I love Rapid FM.
This is the place to be. Simply Rapid.
Knock it out on the Fan Zone with Mr. McDoney,
where you must answer more questions about what happened yesterday on Rapid FM to win the #1 title, Rapid biggest fan of the day.
Plus, you get to win other special prizes too. Amazing, right?
I love the sound of that.
Join the fan base representing your favorite shows every Monday to Friday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on the Fan Zone.
Fan Zone.
Fan Zone.
Exclusive to Rapid 96.5 FM.
I'm your big fan. Follow you until you love me.
Justy, this one where you put your hand under your jaw this early morning. Waiting happen. Your goat don't die.
Holy cap, leave me oh. If to say my goat die, that one better oh. All the goods sold in my shop don't expire finish. No market. Since morning I never say even 1 naira.
Hey, you never hear about Rapid FM Ahiana Market.
Ahiana
Market. Now Rapid FM program where we go help you tell people where you they sell, how you they sell them, and where your shop today with just to take only 1,000 naira. We go carry your business and put them for the next level. Oh yeah, green also for phone with this number 080-6356-8266. Or you fit in Russia for Rapid FM Radio House behind New Government House Umahia, Abia State, Nigeria. I hear the market.
Let's talk politics, dynamics, and permutations.
It is a concern that we have for our country, Nigeria. This is beyond partisan politics. It's unfortunate. And these are the kind of people who say they are leaders of this country. What example are they showing as leaders of the country?
Let's keep you abreast with the happenings in the polity.
Nigeria is on drink and on oxygen. And how can we get out of this?
I am an employer of the president. I pay the president's salary. I pay the bills of his family. And he must protect me.
Standpoint. The center of all talks of politics.
Standpoint, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. on Rapid 96.5 FM, Umahia.
More Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian.
On 617. If the federal government refuses to discuss 617, we discuss other options. The labor centers will review their stand and look at further options because the suffering inflicted by 520 is doubled with the suffering inflicted by 617. To show the unity of our suffering, to show that every worker in the country is suffering, to show that Nigeria is one. That is how this protest been done. Ordinarily, if we are told that they were sending about 400 billion every month on subsidy. 2 months after, we should be thinking about a profit of about 1 trillion. We should have been channeled to reduce the suffering.
They cannot afford to betray you or fail you. If they do that, after 1,400 days, that is 3-4 years, they will come back to look for your vote. So they know what they will happen if they fail you. Please, let us be serious. Let us not just come here, wave flags, and then wear this thing and leave this thing like that. Let us find permanent solution to this. And the solutions can be achieved. As we said, refineries are not working. Dangote started the refinery and he was to complete it. Nothing was there. Let us ask these questions. And it is not enough to say give money to the local refinery. How much have been given to them and what happened? So let us find concrete solution to our problem.
I know the Nigeria that bred me is not the Nigeria you have. My first job came with a house, a beetle, and 500 naira, and that 500 naira bought me everything. So I know the issues. And I also am a mother. I have children who are your ages that I want to inherit a better Nigeria. So please, just give us a chance to get in.
Spend an average of 80% of their incomes in food alone. This is why we fear that this recent increase will further push Nigerians deeper below the poverty
research. We have done our numbers to see that this is the way to go now. We are talking about the hazardness in gas. It's not in CNG. It's lighter than air.
It's still Standpoint on Rapid 96.5 FM, the sound of your city. Of course, bringing you reactions from the Federal Capital Territory yesterday as protesters pulled down the gate of the National Assembly and invaded the premises. And there you could see the interaction between the lawmakers and the protesters. And then shortly after, the lawmakers returning back to their duty and talking about the current pump price of petrol and the alternative in CNG as discussed by the president. Well, we are in the last lap of the show, but just to remind you that we are live and interactive on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/Rapid965FM, and on Twitter, we are at Rapid965, and on Instagram, we are at Rapid965FM. You can be part of our growing online community by following and liking Rapid 965 FM on all our social media platforms, and of course get to contribute to ongoing conversations like the one we're having as we're reviewing the developments of the last 24 hours with organized labor's protest that has now finally been suspended. I have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Can you please turn down the volume of your radio set?
I've done that, sir.
Good. Your name and where you're reaching us from.
This is the great philosopher, Mr. S. Nikalo, a voice from Adiohata in a hotel local government area, a home for hospitality.
Mr. Isaiah, it's great to have you on the show this morning. Good morning.
God bless you, my dear. God bless my dear. Concerning the issue at hand,
yes,
like this labor union as they just suspend the strike because the type of government we have now, I'm seeing it as an extension of that of Mohamed Buhari. I don't think the strike will yield anything if they decide to extend the strike. I don't think it will yield anything. But just that all these things we are doing, we are just marking time. We know that even the present administration, they have no solution to the problems with Nigerians are facing. we are waiting for the judgment of the judiciary. Let P2B come over. When it comes, I know he has a solution to the problem we are facing. Because all these things that is happening now, Tinubu has promised us that between now and December, our refinery will start functioning.
One of 4 refinery, not all.
One of this particular refinery will start functioning. Now, you will not ask what happens to 19 billion naira that was spent during Buhari regime to repair the refinery. Why none of them is functional until now, and nobody is talking about it. Now, what stops him from putting those refineries, even as he has promised to repair that of Port Harcourt? Why can't he do it first before removing the subsidy? Now, he has declared he will remove the subsidy. We are now suffering. He's now telling us he's going to be functional between now and December. Now, including the palliative of the thing he has been talking about for 6 months, paying 80,000 naira. And now, you can see the school fees has increased. Yeah. Even as labor, they are detecting for increment for salary. The school fees is just like giving somebody with something with right hand side and collecting it with left hand side. Even if they increase their salary, in one way or the other, directly or indirectly, government will still take it back. Either they increase their tax or increase other things to collect it back, and it will continue to cause inflation.
Okay.
And our representatives and senators, they kept quiet. They don't want to talk about it. I know there must be something behind this refinery of a thing we are talking about. They prefer refining abroad and bringing it back to Nigeria. What happened to our domestic refinery? And those people, our representatives, why are they keeping quiet?
Okay.
Why can't they tell the government, the president, to repair our refinery as early as possible, that we can now start refining locally at this price of fuel, which has been the major problem. I don't believe on this palliative of a thing.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Eze.
Put in place. Let them start functioning together with that of Dangote.
Thank
so
you.
that we'll have enough supply of fuel. The price of fuel will come down.
Yes.
So
thank you, Mr. Eze.
The song he's singing now. It's not a news.
All right, thank you.
We are used to that type of song. Buhari sang the same song till the end of his tenure. He's singing the same song, another song, the same song now.
All right, thank you, Mr. Eze.
My brother.
All right, Mr. Eze, thank you so much for your contribution. The phone lines are open for your reactions as we have been able to set the agenda in the last based on developments in the last 24 hours. Let's hear from this caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. John.
Nice to have you join us. Your name and where you're reaching us from.
Okay, sir. My name is Mr. Chijuki. I'm calling from Bendero Dumaya.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I want to join my fellow Nigerians to condemn the way and the manner the federal government has been handling issue of labor in Nigeria and also generally Nigerians as a whole. I want to say that this is very wrong. Last administration promised us a lot of things. Even before they assumed office, they promised that they're going to make fuel to be more affordable for Nigerians. And upon that, fuel continue to increase. They could not allow any single refinery to work for us in Nigeria. They keep on importing. Now, the present government have also promised a lot of things that they are going to do. Now, if you check very well, Mr. John, you are a Nigerian, and I believe that you don't have your own market differently. I want to ask a question. Past administration told us that they are spending billions upon billions to maintain our refineries, which means those refineries are okay, since they are spending billions to maintain it. Now, Mr. President, because of the pressure of the strike yesterday, hurriedly promised us that one refinery is going to work by December. I am now asking, what about others? And the major thing I want to tell us now is this. I am seeing Labour compromising against Nigerians. Because you cannot, because you have a meeting with Mr. President urgently, calling off the protest. I thought that they're supposed to do is to give federal government order, on the issue of non-payment of 8 months salaries on ASU lecturers. Let Mr. President do something on that one. On the issue of palliative, let Mr. President do urgent thing for that, so that they can also, use at least two weeks to call off the strike, but not urgently, because I see a lot of Nigerians being disappointed. Okay. Because Labour is managing Nigerians. It's not only them; they are managing a lot of people, not personal things. So they're supposed to ask Mr. President to give them at least 1 week to consult with others, not urgently. In fact, I am seeing Labour compromise.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. 091 60 333 965 and 091 60,000 965. Those are the numbers to call. And let's hear from this caller. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're reaching us from.
My name is Alvin. I'm calling you from Bende.
All right, Alvin, please. You have 60 seconds.
I am not disappointed because I know that the protest will not yield anything. Of course,
are you sure it hasn't yielded anything? There are promises that have been made.
No, I'm coming. I said I am not surprised what is happening because people are seeing blaming Labour. The Labour can't even do much at this time because even their own hands are tied, and we are in a kind of situation where we cannot even go back. The federal government cannot even say they are no longer removing fuel subsidy. That cannot just happen. So what we're talking about is what will government do in the interim that will reduce the suffering of the masses. You see, the points Labour raised, they are quite in order. You see, there is something on, even though the presidents have come out with a whole lot of proposals which may not happen within 2, 3, 4, 5 months. But some of the points they highlighted yesterday, they are quite in order. So I think we missed it long time ago because this is not the first time the price of petroleum pump price was increased. During the time of President Buhari, Labour, it appears Labour wasn't in existence. So when those things was happening, why didn't we press so hard that these refineries should be put in place? Ordinarily, this thing should have been put in place. The refineries, at least that Port Harcourt should have been working. The Labour should have a kind of wage, something. All these palliatives should have been in place before this subsidy, before the removal of this subsidy. Now, since it didn't happen, what we should do now is to at least put our heads together, find a kind of immediate solution to the problem. So if you support Labour, continue to protest from now to the end of the day, it will not solve any problem. Rather, it will increase the problem. So since federal government have agreed, I don't know what whether the meeting they had yesterday, they agreed on those points, the Labour rate. If they agreed on those points, we can, just like Ushifo said, we can give them benefit of the doubt. But would federal government be sincere this time around? This is not first time they are promising heaven and earth after Iran table negotiation, after the promises at the end of the those things will drop. Because Nigeria will want to see these Port Harcourt refineries work. And again, what is happening with the Dangote refinery? Because if we have petrol in this country, we won't be talking about fuel subsidy. This price will drop. Why we are still suffering this thing is because they're still importing fuel. Yeah. And the people are still selling based on the amount of money, based on what they spend in importing this fuel. So we're paying all those money and we're not happy about it. So we cannot do any palliative and we buy fuel at 600 naira and 700 naira. It's not going to work. All right. So the immediate solution is let some of these refineries work between now and the next 3, 4 months. They must work. And again, all of that things you promise, you do those things so that there will kind of be a relief in the tension. And now we now plan for the long-term end of all these things.
Thank you.
Have a nice day, my brother.
You too. All right, 091 60 333 965 and 091 60,000 965. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Nice to have you join us. Your name and where you're reaching us from.
All right, I'm calling from Olokoro Penrose.
Nice to have you. Your name?
All right, my name is Senrus. Yeah, I'm calling from Olokoro.
Okay, please go ahead. You have 60 seconds.
All right, Mr. Speaker. If you watch at what the president have done, you will see that is a kind of deceit. And if you watch the Labour, you will see their protests look like a scripted protest. And they just went there only to plan that they will call off their protest.
That is your personal opinion.
The concrete plan. So
do you have proof to this supposed?
Yes, I have proof.
What is your proof?
President knows that he's not going to continue the ruling till the end of December. That's
again. Do you have proof? The matter is still in court. Excuse me. I'm sorry. You cannot preempt the judgment of a matter that is before a competent court of jurisdiction. So let it just go straight to the point. It's either you react positively or otherwise to the development, not raising allegations, please. I mean, these, whether we like it or not, look, let's be, I'm a Nigerian like you, and I think the reason why we continue to go around this continuous mountain is because we don't address issues. 091 60 333 965 091 60,000 965. And I appreciate that when you call, please, let's be civil. Let's keep to the matter at hand. And I mean, we at this point, we've if in the last 30 years all we've been doing is venting, and we are yet not. I mean, I think common sense suggests that we should now begin to prefer solutions come from the standpoint of superior argument rather than continue to pass the buck. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
The moderator.
Please turn down the volume of your radio set.
Okay, I think I'm off from there now. Is it okay?
Much better. Your name and where you're reaching us from.
This is Radio Senator calling from Government College, Umuahia.
Nice to have you, Radio Senator. Please, you have 60 seconds.
Mr. Speaker, let me just go straight to the issue. The fact still remains, which our people have forgotten, that our past leaders were the people that kept us in this place, who failed to do what they're supposed to do, who did not have the interest of the masses at heart while they were ruling. They were only busy taking our money to overseas, Dubai, and the rest of them, establishing companies and the rest of them. And without talking about the welfare of the country, the welfare of the people they govern. And that's why what has put up to this quagmire. And what are we talking about? Tinubu has come in. There is no problem. Let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, that President Buhari remains for me, remains the man that had a good heart, who never stole our money to start building other companies overseas. Only President Muhammadu Buhari. But he was deceived and betrayed by certain politicians he employed to assist him. But his time has gone. We have gone over to another regime, which is President Bola Tinubu. Let me tell you, Tinubu has been a governor in Lagos State. He has governed Lagos State. I knew when he was in Lagos State, he performed very well. So when Tinubu make a promise, we still believe that Tinubu of that very year of 1999 to 2007, we still perform that thing he has done. We have cried about subsidy removal. Nobody wants it because of when you hear the amount of money being siphoned from that subsidy. Oh, you will marvel, you will shake. Trillion. Do you know what it means? To remove trillion from the purse of Nigerian government, and then we become poor because of little thing that we derive from it. No good thing comes easy. Every good thing comes with sacrifices, my dear brother. So what Tinubu was saying is right. It's very right. But when he has provided solution, before Buhari left office, he told us about that refinery. That was why he did not place it in his script to read for us. Buhari told us that they are refining 3 refineries, but they will start with Port Harcourt refinery. That's exactly it's all. They are doing it. Not that they are not doing it. They are doing it, but they don't want to say. They want to surprise Nigerians. Say, look at this, we have done it. But because of the protest, he has now opened up, telling us that
from now to December. Not that it started with the administration. It was Buhari administration after the Dangote refinery. And Dangote told us that ending of this August, we are going to see him producing fuel in Nigeria. And that will assist us. I think what we should do is to keep our fingers crossed and watch the president and see what is capable of doing. Those things he has listed is for we to be. For we not to be having biased mind, political critics, everybody saying all forms of things. And it is high time, even the House of Assembly members, who are our representatives, who are supposed to talk more than one, are telling you that is the best. The governor knew they are the one begging the president under Buhari to remove fuel subsidy. Buhari refused. It is not Tinubu that removed subsidy. No, it was Buhari's administration who planned it. That in June, nothing like subsidy. So this man inherited it. What do you want him to do? When you want him to get money to subsidize it, there is no going back. Let us talk about freeze away subsidy. Go to Ghana. Ghana suffered last year like we suffered, but now they are enjoying it. So we pray there must be good things ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So much contributions this morning, and we truly appreciate. But just before I wrap up the show, just to let you know that key takeaways from Mr. President's broadcast on Monday morning or Monday evening is the fact that subsidy thieves amassed so much wealth and power that they became a serious threat to the fairness of the nation's economy and the integrity of democratic governance. Subsidy cost the nation trillions of naira, as we all have highlighted in our contributions annually, that could have been used for public transportation, health, schools, housing, and even national security. Nigeria cannot become the society it was intended to be if such small, powerful, yet unelected groups hold enormous influence over the nation's political economy and the institutions that govern it. The multiple exchange rate system that had been established became nothing but a highway of currency speculation. Multiple exchange rates diverted to money that should have been used to create jobs, build factories and businesses for millions of people. Ending the subsidy and the preferential exchange rate system are key in the fight to reforming our nation's economy. Nigeria's economy is going through a tough patch and the masses are being hurt by it. With the cost of fuel going up and food and other prices as well, the federal government is working closely with states and local governments to implement interventions that will cushion the pains of the people across socio-economic brackets. 75 billion naira to be spent on strengthening the manufacturing sector between July 2023 and March of 2024, with objective to fund 75 enterprises with immense potential to kickstart a sustainable economic growth, accelerated structural transformation, and improved productivity. The administration will energize micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise with a sum of 125 billion naira. 50 billion naira, about 50 billion naira of the 125 billion will be spent on conditional grants to 1 million nano businesses between now and March of 2024. Government is to fund 100,000 SMEs and startups with 75 billion, with each enterprise promoter to get between 500,000 to 1 million naira at 9% interest rate per annum and a repayable period of 36 months. That's just about 3 years. So it is important that we, as much as, yes, we groan from the pains of the current economic policies, we should look at the big picture. And like the last caller said, keep our fingers crossed, hope for the best, and for once, begin to look at the positives and not go back to the past and rest on the negatives. That's how we wrap up this edition of Standpoint. Tomorrow, we'll be back as we continue to keep our ears to the ground and our searchlight beamed on developments across Nigeria, Africa, and the world. I am Nkamian John, known as the Beloved, also as the Controversial, thanking my